This is ABC 13 Eyewitness News at 9 p.m. on CW39.
The body of fallen Deputy Constable Kareem Atkins now rests at a funeral home in Tomball. Law enforcement officers lined up outside the Harris County Medical Examiner's office for the procession from the medical center to the Klein Funeral Home in Tomball. Atkins, as we've reported, was shot and killed yesterday in what authorities called an ambush outside of a nightclub in North Houston. Hello again, everyone. I'm Tom Abrams. Atkins and two other Harris County Precinct 4 deputy constables were off duty working extra jobs as security for the club. The two other deputies were also shot and wounded. Police are still looking for the killer. ABC 13's Brooke Taylor is in the medical center tonight where those wounded deputies are recovering, and she joins us live with the latest. Brooke?
Tom, really just a somber day, as you can imagine. We're talking about a man who was serving his community, a father, and just 30 years old. Meanwhile, those two other deputies, as you mentioned, are here at the hospital trying to recover. And that shooter still at large tonight, but authorities tell me they're confident there's going to be an arrest sometime soon. The body of Deputy Kareem Atkins escorted from the medical examiner's office to the funeral home in Tomball as members of his own constable's office and other agencies saluted and honored the fallen deputy.
We got him back home, and we're going to finish that process.
30-year-old Kareem Atkins worked for Precinct 4 Constable's office since 2019. His father also a deputy there. Atkins was shot and killed early Saturday morning while working security for a North Houston bar in what police are calling an ambush.
This is the first in history that a Precinct 4 Constable deputy has been killed in this violent manner.
Atkins leaves behind a wife and two young children. He recently returned from paternity leave. Members of the community coming to pay their respects and watch the procession. For some, it hits close to home.
I have a bunch of police officers in my family. My brother's a police officer. I have an uncle that's a sergeant in New Jersey. So we're a big supporting the Blue family.
Two other deputies also shot, but they're expected to make a full recovery. Deputy Daryl Garrett shot in the back and Deputy Joaquin Barthen shot in the leg. The three are described as best friends and brothers. Constable Mark Herman recalling the emotional moments in the hospital when Barthen found out his friend had died.
The wailing and the crying is something you don't want to remember.
As far as the shooter, police have not arrested anyone, but Constable Herman is confident they'll find whoever is responsible.
We'll worry about the bad guy at our due time. Justice always comes at our own time.
That was Brooke Taylor reporting tonight. Now, there is some breaking news from Northwest Houston we want to share with you. It was a violent night there where at least 3 people were shot at a park in Acres Home. So let's go out to ABC 13 reporter Courtney Carpenter with what she's learned tonight. Courtney?
Well, Tom, still an active scene right now. You can see police lights all down this road. We're here on Dolly Wright Street. We're right by Windsor Park. Used to be called Carver Park. And police have been looking over at that white truck here on the side of the road here. And so far, we know at least 3 people were shot here at the park. We're told the victims were taken to a local hospital in personal cars, not by ambulance. So at this point, we really don't know what may have led up to the shooting, but we are expecting to hear more from authorities on scene here shortly. We will keep you guys updated. Now, the 3 people injured in this shooting tonight are among at least 7 people injured and 5 people killed in shootings since Friday night across the Houston area. The dead include Harris County Precinct 4 Deputy Constable Kareem Atkins, who was killed early Saturday morning. Just a violent weekend across our area, no doubt. We'll continue to keep you guys updated on the latest from this scene. Reporting live on the Northwest Side, Courtney Carpenter, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Courtney, thank you. We'll get back to you when police do update us live tonight. Now for a look at our weather. The temperature is beginning to drop. Rachel Bryars says it's going to be cool out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's already getting pretty cool outside with some of our temperatures dipping down into the 50s already, and they will continue to drop down into the low 50s as we head into early Monday morning. And by Monday afternoon, still going to be very nice, looking at high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s with lots of sunshine for your Monday. So take advantage of the day tomorrow. We will start to see those temperatures rise a bit more by midweek. I'll break down the rest of your forecast coming up.
Rachel, thank you. Well, police need your help finding a man accused of murdering his ex's new boyfriend, 27-year-old Oscar Gaitan Torres, wanted for shooting and killing Freddie Aguilera in front of a home on Deer Grove in North Harris County. The victim's girlfriend told sheriff's deputies Torres was her ex-boyfriend, and he allegedly confronted Aguilera this morning and shot him several times before driving off in a black Mercedes with paper plates. If you have information on his whereabouts, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers, and you can do it anonymously at 713-222-TIPS. The Texas House made some last-minute changes to the proposed new congressional maps, and that could mean another round of negotiations in Austin. According to our partners at the Texas Tribune, the House tweaked the Senate-approved map last night so that Democrat Sheila Jackson Lee and Democrat Al Green, both of Houston, would not be pitted against each other in congressional races. The House also restored a central Texas district from Austin to San Antonio to a slight Hispanic majority. This morning, the Senate rejected those changes and called for a conference committee for both members of both chambers to iron out the differences. That deal would require another vote in the House and Senate before the special session ends on Tuesday. Early voting for the November election begins tomorrow. It runs through October 29th before Election Day on November 2nd. The ballot will have 8 constitutional amendments for all voters, along with any special elections or measures in your own voting precincts. It has been 4 years since the Citgo Six were arrested in Venezuela. The 6 executives from the Houston-based oil company were suddenly picked up by the country's intelligence services. And the daughter of one of them says she's holding the U.S. government accountable for her father's safety.
The Venezuelan government has taken my father away from house arrest and has been taken to unknown location. This is the second time this happens in his almost 4 years of being held against his will. How much longer does my family have to wait patiently for the U.S. government to resolve this? When will the U.S. prioritize American lives and bring them home?
Attorneys for the Citgo Six say the executives were lured to Venezuela for a business meeting in 2017 and then detained and convicted of corruption. They deny the charges. The executives had been under house arrest as a goodwill gesture, but it appears they're back in prison now. Their families believe the move was in retaliation for the extradition to the United States of a Colombian financier with close ties to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Tonight, dozens of residents are still trying to figure out what to do after a fire destroyed their home. On Tuesday, that fire broke out at the Harmony House on Girard and Dart, which is near downtown. At least 75 residents now displaced. We caught up with some of them at the hotel where they're now staying, and they talked about barely surviving homelessness to now face this.
Life happens, and we fell in some tough times, and they're doing their best right now, and I know that their hands are tied with everything as ours is.
An electrical issue may be to blame, but the cause of the fire still under investigation. The organization is now taking donations to help those displaced residents. Still to come, a group of missionaries kidnapped in Haiti. We'll tell you who police say is responsible and what the United States is doing to find them. Plus, you'll meet the Houston woman and a Holocaust survivor who was just awarded the highest civilian honor in France.
After a cooler feel over the weekend, temperatures start nudging back up over the course of the upcoming week. The latest forecast coming up Monday morning on No Wait Weather and Traffic.
No Wait Weather and Traffic, Monday, 5:30 to 9:30 on CW 39 Houston.
Call Express Flooring and avoid the crowds. Shop in the comfort and safety of your own home.
Express is following all CDC guidelines and will bring samples of carpet, tile, wood, and waterproof laminate and vinyl plank flooring to you.
We'll help you choose the flooring that best fits your needs, plus free decorating advice.
Express has just been awarded the Reader's Choice Favorite Flooring Company. And during the month of October, we will donate a portion of every sale to support breast cancer awareness. Express Flooring to your door. Call 855-MY-FLOOR.
In business, setbacks change everything. So get Comcast Business Internet and add Security Edge. It helps keep your network safe by scanning for threats every 10 minutes. And unlike some cybersecurity options, this helps protect every connected device. Yours, your employees, and even your customers. So you can stay ahead.
Get started with a great offer and ask how you can add Comcast Business Security Edge. Plus, for a limited time, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card when you upgrade. Call today.
Rooms to go. I love it. Kids and teens. I love it. I love it.
Where do you go for the very best in kids and teens furniture? Rooms to Go Kids and Teens.
I love it. I love it.
Choose from the hottest kids and teen styles and pick your perfect room. Get the furniture your kids want at prices parents love.
Rooms to go. I love it. Kids and teens. I love it.
The classic Hollywood story. We meet the hero, the all-new Nissan Frontier. Hero faces seemingly impossible challenge. Tension builds. The plot twist. The hero prevails. In Hollywood, this would be the end. But out here, we're just getting started.
Introducing the all-new Nissan Frontier.
It's fall and our cozy home event is happening at American Furniture Warehouse. Come in and see all our comfy sofas and sectionals that are perfect to make your space warm and homey. Hustle down to one of our American Furniture Warehouse showrooms or visit us at afw.com.
2.5 Men, tonight at 10 and 10:30 on CW 39.
Houston.
Missionaries from a U.S.-based organization have been kidnapped in Haiti. That group includes 5 children. Police say the gang that kidnapped several priests and nuns earlier this year are responsible for this latest abduction. ABC's Ike Ajachi has more.
According to a voice message from Ohio-based Christian Aid Ministries that was sent to other religious missions, a group of 17 missionaries that included a 2-year-old child was kidnapped. Police in Haiti say the 400 Mawozo gang carried out the kidnapping in Ganthier, a commune east of the capital of Port-au-Prince. The group was returning home Saturday after building an orphanage. The message goes on to say the mission's field director is working with the U.S. Embassy. The State Department issuing a statement saying the welfare and safety of U.S. citizens abroad is one of the highest priorities of the Department of State. Haiti has faced several difficult challenges this year, including the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in July and a 7.2 magnitude earthquake this past August that killed more than 2,000 people.
So you put the poverty on top of repeated 7.0 plus magnitude earthquakes over the years, and it's just been brutal for the Haitian people and very difficult for them to establish not just the rule of law, but basic functions in society.
The country has seen an alarming surge in gang-related kidnappings. Haiti's Center for Analysis and Research and Human Rights reports there have been 600 kidnappings this year, 117 of them in just the last month.
There are very few people that are able to pay hostage ransoms, and so the Americans make a nice target in the sense that they can probably afford to pay.
This growing turmoil in Haiti can make it more complicated for the Biden administration to turn away Haitian migrants at the southern U.S. border, many making the argument it is not safe on the ground in Haiti. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
Former President Bill Clinton is out of the hospital after being treated for a blood infection. He left the UC Irvine Medical Center this morning with his wife Hillary. The medical center released a statement which read that Clinton's fever and white blood cell count are back to normal and he will return home to New York to finish the course of his antibiotics. An aide said he was admitted to the hospital Tuesday with a urological infection that spread. A union representing about 60,000 behind-the-scenes workers in film and television reached a tentative deal, possibly averting a strike that threatened to cause widespread disruption in Hollywood. The strike would have begun tomorrow, the biggest stoppage since the writers' strike in 2007. The International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, which includes camera operators, makeup artists, sound technicians, and others, said negotiators agreed to a new 3-year contract which must be approved by union members. The union was asking for reduced working hours, meal breaks, and raises. Today, a local Holocaust survivor was honored with France's highest civilian honor. The ceremony was held this afternoon at the Holocaust Museum, Houston. The award given to someone who achieves great things in the service of France. 88-year-old Ruth Steinfeld was born in Germany, and in 1940, she and her family were sent to an internment camp in France. After the war, she and her sister chose to complete their schooling here in Houston and were some of the first survivors to talk publicly about their experiences.
And I'm just so honored, and I just can't believe this is happening.
Steinfeld continues to speak with young people today while teaching the dangers of hatred and prejudice. Time now to take a longer look at our weather with meteorologist Rachel Breyer. Certainly a fall-like week, at least for part of it.
Yeah, I mean, at least for the first couple of days. So you want to make sure you take advantage of these next couple of days if you like those cooler temperatures. And those temperatures right now are already starting to drop. We even have mostly cloudy skies out there right now in Houston, and those temperatures are still already dropping down into the 50s. Looking at a temperature of 59 degrees currently in Houston and Galveston, looking at a temperature of 69 degrees. And as we head into the next few hours, we'll continue to see that eventually all of those temperatures drop, I would say, another 5 to 8 degrees. degrees. Now, we do have some cloud cover that's currently moving across southeast Texas. This cloud cover will actually hinder how much our temperatures will drop tonight. If we had clear skies, our temperatures would most likely drop again down into the upper 40s and I would say very low 50s. Tonight, most of us going to drop down into the low 50s. So still going to be cool, just not as chilly as what it could be if we had clear skies, but still expecting 49 degrees in College Station. Same thing in Conroe, 53 in Liberty, 55 in Pearland, and 51 over in Wharton. So as you head out the door tomorrow morning, go ahead, grab a light jacket. Probably going to need it, at least for the morning hours. But as we push throughout the morning as well as into the early afternoon, we will start to see those temperatures climb back up into the 70s, eventually topping out at around 78 degrees as we head into the mid-afternoon. But all in all, tomorrow, gorgeous, tons of sunshine, really a good day to just get outdoors and enjoy this weather. And here's a look at those highs: 76 expected in Conroe, 78 over in Pasadena, and looking at 76 up in Conroe. So all in all, a really nice day for your Monday. Now, if you like the 70s, make sure, again, that you get outside. Enjoy it, because those temperatures will be warming up as we head throughout the rest of this week. By midweek, we should see our high temperatures reaching back up into the mid-80s. Now, also this week, rain chances going to remain on the lower side. So good news if you just got a car wash. As we push into the day tomorrow, high pressure still going to be over us. That is going to keep us mostly dry. But then as we head into midweek, that area of high pressure is going to start shifting back on over to the east. That will allow those winds to shift back in from the southeast, dragging in some slightly warmer air and also a little bit of moisture, enough moisture where we could see at least a few isolated rain showers, especially closer to the coast as we head into parts of the work week. Now, are we going to see washouts by any means? It does not look like it. It actually looks like the amount of moisture we're going to see is going to be just a little. It's going to be on the very little side. So when it comes to an actual rain chance, I do have a 20% chance in for Thursday as that weak cool front does approach. That cool front, though, really not going to cool us down much. We're still going to see those high temperatures in the mid-80s as we head into the end of this week as well as into next weekend.
Rachel, thank you. We want to go live now. Chief Ernest Garcia briefing the media on a shooting that injured 3 people.
3 members of our command staff with the Houston Police Department. And what I want to do today is I want to talk just preliminary information that we have of what happened this evening. So about 6 o'clock today, Houston police officers received a call indicating that there were shots fired at the intersection of Dolly Wright and Carver. It's at the Windsor Park. When officers arrived at the scene, officers did not find any activity, anybody been shot. However, residents there in the area and people at the park indicated that there was an activity down the street about a mile away from that park. Officers went to the location, and when they went to about the 1900 block of Dolly Wright, officers observed a white SUV that was in the ditch on the side of the road. So officers conducted an investigation, observed blood on the vehicle, as well as bullet holes in the vehicle. However, there were no persons or anybody in the vehicle or actually in or around. So as the officers were conducting their investigation and determining what had actually occurred, they started receiving information from our HPD dispatch that there were several calls from hospitals that had individuals with gunshot wounds being admitted. I can tell you now that we have a total of 5 individuals with gunshot wounds, 1 being juvenile. I have another individual that has a non-gunshot wound, but he has a leg injury. Investigators from the Houston Police Department, Major Assaults, have been talking to these complainants, trying to get information as to what actually occurred out here. But like I said earlier, we're very early in this investigation. We have just very preliminary information to share. I will tell you also that while officers were here at the scene at the 1900 block of Dolly Wright, officers heard a series of gunshots about a mile away from where we're at now. Another shooting occurred down the street, and I'm not quite sure what the block number is on that, but it's about a mile away from 1900 block of Dolly Wright. A female was shot in the arm, non-life-threatening, and she was also transported to the hospital. Because of the close proximity of these two incidents, we do possibly believe they may be related, but there's no way to indicate that right now if they are. But just like I said, with the preliminary distance between these two incidences, we believe that may be possibly related. In terms of suspect description, we don't have very much suspect description with the information that we have now. I can tell you that we are looking for a black, small car, possibly an Audi or a Mercedes, black in color or dark blue. That vehicle, according to our complainants here at this scene at 1900 Dollywood, right, indicated that they observed that black vehicle or dark blue Audi or Mercedes. The incident that occurred a mile from here also witnesses are stating that observed a black or dark blue vehicle, so that might be possibly also the vehicle that we're describing here, and that will give us the indication that possibly that case also down the street is related. Like I said, we have our major assaults investigators conducting a follow-up investigation, and as soon as we get more information on any other possible descriptions of suspects, we'll release that to get our public to help in identifying what exactly happened here tonight. If you have any information, of course, call Crime Stoppers at 222-TIP-713 or call our Major Assaults Division with the Houston Police Department. Any questions?
So to clarify, you got 5 people shot and a 6th person with a leg injury?
That's correct. So we have a total of 5 here at the 1900 block of Dolly Wright, 1 with a leg injury, and a separate gunshot victim down the street from or about a mile from here from the 1900 block of Dolly Wright with a gunshot wound to the arm. So all in total, 5 here, 1 down the street, and 1 with a leg injury.
Any other questions, folks?
That's Houston Police updating us on what is a complicated investigation off of Dolly Wright, where several people were shot, and there may be multiple scenes. Of course, we'll stay on top of this and bring you the latest as it develops throughout the night. And we'll be right back after this quick break.
At Kroger, we know that the slower a banana ripens, the longer it stays fresh. So we keep things fresher than fresh by ripening them slowly.
To the tooth grinders, the ice chewers, and the bottle openers, you are welcome here. At Jefferson Dental and Orthodontics, we get it. Life happens, and your teeth take a beating. We're here to meet you where you are, which means creating payment plans that work with your budget, whether you're insured or not. At Jefferson Dental and Orthodontics, all smiles are welcome here, not just the perfect ones. Call 800-449-5058 to schedule your appointment today.
Your heart is at the heart of everything you do. And if you have heart failure, there's a medicine specifically made for heart failure, Entresto. It's a heart failure medicine prescribed by most cardiologists. Entresto is proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure, and trust your heart to Entresto.
Back
back here with my good friend Joe Kelly from Kroger. You know what's as amazing as free same-day delivery from Gallery Furniture and an entire year's worth of groceries from Kroger in honor of Veterans Day.
That's right, Mac. Kroger's excited to team up with Gallery Furniture to thank a veteran, active duty service member, or first responder with a year's worth of groceries on us. That's not all. We'll be giving away a year's worth of grocery to 4 members of our community. Anyone can sign up.
Make sure you submit your entry by Veterans Day by visiting galleryfurniture.com/Kroger.
There's instability in the job market, but the demand for healthcare workers is greater than ever. At the College of Healthcare Professions, you can start a rewarding medical career in as little as 9 months. CHCP has flexible online and on-campus programs. We've graduated over 25,000 students. The next one could be you. Apply by phone or online at chcp.edu today. CHCP, for the career of your life.
How do we make sure Kroger food is fresh? We put sensors on our coolers, and if something changes, we drop whatever we're doing to take care of it. That way, we can make sure Kroger food isn't just fresh, it's fresher than fresh.
Mom, tonight at 11 and 11:30 on CW 39.
Houston.
While we have been understandably focused on the Astros playoff run, we did learn something very important over in the National League Championship Series. Dodgers pitcher Tony Gonsolin really likes cats. He took to the mound yesterday in his custom-made cleats, complete with furry cat laces in honor of his 2 cats. Now, those shoes were also decorated with a picture of a cat. He has donned different cat-themed cleats before. Gonsolin says he has nothing against dogs, he just prefers cats. By the way, yesterday was World Cat Day, or Catter Day. The funny thing is, with that mustache, Adam, he actually looks like Catfish Hunter.
He does. There's always a cat connection there.
Right.
I hope we never see those cleats again, because that would mean the Dodgers would be eliminated soon. That'd be a good thing. Hey, more baseball. With injuries to starting pitchers Lance McCullers and Luis Garcia, there's some concern about the Astros' arms going forward in the American League Championship Series. But let's not forget, in tomorrow's Game 3, the Red Sox will pitch Eduardo Rodriguez. Folks, he gave up 12 runs in 2 games against the Stros this season. For more on Game 3, here's Sports Director Greg Bailey at Fenway Park.
The Astros quickly set aside the Game 2 disappointment. A heavy dose of optimism and a little nostalgia mixed in for good measure as the Stros get ready for the critical Game 3 here at Fenway Park. A baseball lifetime ago, Dusty Baker couldn't find Fenway Park after a short walk from the team hotel.
It's right there. I said, oh, okay.
Now Baker's searching for pitching. Jose Urquidy's been here before, asked to deliver on baseball's biggest stage.
Jose, I think he's a little rookie pitching in the World Series. So, you know, and he's a very calm, cool, very mature dude.
The Astros taking a team-wide mature approach after the Game 2 loss. Baker sees positives as the series shifts here to Fenway. Above all else, the Astros didn't quit after the 2 early grand slams. One more dose of optimism for the Stros. Dusty Baker mentions that Luis Garcia feels a lot better after he was forced to leave the Game 2 loss. The Astros hoping that Garcia is a pitching option going forward in this series. At Fenway with the Stros, Greg Bailey, ABC 13 Eyewitness Sports.
Game 3 of the best-of-7 series tomorrow night in Boston.
But what was the reason for it is my question. That is creepy as hell. I know, I'm sorry about that.
Still to come, a T-Mobile employee accused of stealing a woman's personal videos, the confrontation caught on camera. And the family of a Houston sailor who was fatally shot is telling Only 13 why they believe it was a cover-up.
Hey, Jacob, you ever eaten snails?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, in a restaurant.
No.
2.5 Men, tonight at 10 and 10:30 on CW 39.
Houston.
At Gallery Furniture, the #1 question customers ask is, can I have the furniture delivered today? The answer is yes, yes, yes. Buy a room full, buy a house full of furniture today at Gallery Furniture. Easy, convenient, deferred interest financing. Gallery Furniture delivers in 3 or 4 hours to Houston area home today or haul off your old furniture free. If you can see it, you can buy it and have it delivered today. Gallery Furniture delivers right now in 3 or 4 hours. No frustrating backroom slip. Free delivery today. Gallery saves you money today.
Days are built on mornings.
And Whataburger is built on burgers. Mornings, burgers. Morning burgers? Yeah, all right. Good thing there's a burger made just for breakfast. Topped with breakfast. The limited time breakfast burger is back at Whataburger. Available by dine-in, drive-thru, curbside, and delivery.
Dad, you ate all my candy!
Oh, wow.
And you ruined my carpet.
We'll just call Express and get you some more candy.
Save up to 66% and pay no interest until 2023.
Don't worry, Ma. We'll be there soon.
We? Is this the one?
Well, let's say I found the one who takes me to another level. Always stays calm under pressure. Most importantly, the one that helps me discover the coolest places.
This sounds wonderful.
Come outside, I'll introduce you.
They're here.
Definitely the one.
Introducing the all-new Nissan Frontier.
I was born in Los Angeles, raised in a really tiny town outside of Sacramento. I found that what kids from the country and kids from the city have in common is that we're all on this journey to being the best us we can be. Morning in America has this very unique opportunity. We get to do something that's never been done before. And I know people think, oh, what could be so different about news? But when you actually go to the root of what people need, that hope, that's something that you can get hooked on. I want people to get hooked on Morning in America.
Mike and Molly, weeknights at 1 and 1:30 on CW 39.
Houston.
This is ABC 13 Eyewitness News at 9 p.m. on CW 39.
Houston police still working to find out what led up to a deadly shooting late this afternoon on the southeast side of town. ABC 13's Courtney Carpenter spoke with investigators about what they know so far.
Well, this is one where there's still more questions than answers right now. The shooting happened here off Bessemer, not far off the Gulf Freeway. Now, the original call came in around 2:30 this afternoon, and we understand, unfortunately, this is a deadly shooting. HPD investigators say a Hispanic male that was in the white car is deceased. Police say they're still investigating. At this point, they don't know for sure what led up to the shooting or if there were other cars involved. We spoke to a man who lives in the apartment complex nearby, saying he was playing with his young daughter when he heard the screeching of tires and then several gunshots.
These kind of crimes, I don't know why they happen. These random street crimes, these lives being taken daily, it's just horrible.
Investigators say they are searching for surveillance video that may help them. But of course, if you know anything about this, call HPD Homicide or Crime Stoppers. Reporting on the southeast side of town, Courtney Carpenter, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
A Navy firearms instructor is charged with killing a fellow corpsman after first reporting it as a suicide. The victim is a graduate of Bel Air High School, and his parents are speaking only with ABC 13's Shelley Childers, saying they've lost faith in the military's judicial process.
Michael DeLeon was a 2008 graduate of Bel Air High School, enlisting in the Navy several years later, ready to train and serve.
I'm joining the Navy. I want to be a medic. I want to be a corpsman. And I was very honored to hear that.
But his parents say 5 years into that training, their son was dead. They say the Navy telling them
Michael had killed himself.
It was August 2019. Michael took this Snapchat video from inside a house party with other corpsmen at their 29 Palms base near San Diego. Michael's father says his son died 30 minutes later. All 5 men in this video have now been charged in connection to his death, ruled a homicide. The past 2 years have been long and painful for Jose and Sandra DeLeon as they watched a web of lies unravel.
The story from suicide turned into they were mishandling firearms to now it was horseplaying.
Our sister station KGTV in San Diego reporting prosecutors say the corpsmen were drinking and dry firing their guns when a fatal round was shot. Edmund Maybane, Michael's firearms instructor, is the accused shooter charged with involuntary manslaughter. The De Leons are livid with the charge.
We've already heard from 2 trials that the gun came out of his waistband, racked back, and in one motion put to my son's head and fired. I mean, in one motion. How is that horseplaying?
How's that an accident?
How is that an accident? How is that unintentional?
He says his son died in that living room with not a single corpsman attempting first aid, and then the accused shooter calling 911.
We got to hear Edmund's voice, and he's calling in, and he's saying that Michael killed himself, he offed himself, I can't believe he got bullets from here and put it together with my gun. And he goes into detail.
Maybane is also charged with obstruction of justice for that 911 call. After 2 military trials, only 1 person has served any time for Michael's death, sentenced to 100 days, but only serving 80. As these parents approach the trial for the accused shooter, they say they have lost faith in the prosecution and the military.
You can talk about honor, you can talk about courage, you can talk about commitment, that the Marines and sailors all take an oath. But when it comes to this...
Shelley Childers, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
A woman claims a T-Mobile employee sent himself private videos from her phone. She confronted him over the high-tech invasion of privacy, and ABC 13's Brianna Connor has her story.
I'm not sure if you sent yourself videos or not from my phone to your phone, but if you don't delete them now, I'm going to call your manager.
That threat coming from a woman who says she never thought her privacy would be compromised by an employee at the T-Mobile store inside the H-E-B on Spring Cypress Road.
I literally felt like devastated, like what just happened? My emotions were everywhere. I just didn't even I was shocked more than anything.
The woman, who asked to remain unidentified, says the employee went into a hidden folder on her phone and sent himself 2 intimate private videos. A notification from her Apple Watch is the only way she found out. After her threat, a request.
Show me right now that you deleted them, or I will call the manager. Because that's creepy.
That apology doesn't go far enough for the woman, who has now filed a police report and retained an attorney.
T-Mobile and the franchisee of the store should be held liable for negligent hiring, negligent supervision of this individual.
T-Mobile sent us a statement about this incident that says, quote, "We take customer privacy seriously. We have connected with the dealer about this situation and have learned that the person involved is no longer employed."
I'm sorry about that. I just don't want to lose my job.
An outcome he tried to avoid, and a woman who wants him held responsible.
You know, you don't know how long it's been happening or who else he has done this to.
In spring, I'm Brianna Connor, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
This week, we're talking baseball. The Astros in Boston now. They face a little bit of an uphill battle. Adam's here to tell us exactly what they face and why actually it might not be bad news that they're tied at 1 game apiece. Adam?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a best of 7, right? So that's what we're going for. We talked Astros earlier. They are on the road at Boston, game 3 of the ALCS. And this week, the Astros are going to try and do what the Texans could not do last week. Knock off a team from the greater Boston area. On the heels of their loss to the New England Patriots, Texans back on the road, back in the division for a date with the Colts this afternoon. The last 14 games played between the Texans and Indianapolis decided by less than 10 points. That streak ends as the Texans' losing streak continues. Indy goes up 7-0 on this 51-yard TD strike from Carson Wentz to Paris Campbell, one of many big plays on the day for the Colts. Texans trail 10-3 at halftime. Close game. Huge moment here. Davis Mills, the rookie quarterback who does not commit a turnover last week, throws 2 interceptions today. This one picked off by Darius Leonard just 2 plays later. The Colts parlay the pick into points. They go up 17-3 on another Wentz touchdown pass, and it only went downhill from there. Indianapolis averages more than 8 yards per play. Folks, that's almost a first down every snap. 31-3 the final score. It's a rout of the Texans. Coming up a little bit later in this broadcast, immediate post-game reaction from the Texans in Indy.
Did you say Wentz downhill from there?
I did. It was 31-3. I could be a lot worse than that.
That was brilliant. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, thanks.
Still to come. A couple surprised to learn their luggage was over the weight limit at the airport. You may not believe what they found inside.
Medical professionals are there through crisis and celebrations.
because they care. The College of Healthcare Professions has helped thousands of them start medical careers. CHCP has flexible online and on-campus programs. Train in a controlled environment on real-world equipment. Start a career in as little as 9 months. The demand is great for people who care. People like you. Call or visit chcp.edu today. CHCP, for the career of your life.
From carving it up to building it yourself, grabbing some air to cooking up some fun. Whatever you're into, get more out of it in a Nissan truck. Like Titan, with the most standard horsepower, tech, and safety features in its class. Start saving on Nissan's family of trucks at Truck Month today. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or get a low $307 per month lease on Frontier.
As a Main Street bank, PNC has helped over 7 million kids develop their passion for learning through our Grow Up Great initiative. And now, we're providing billions of dollars for affordable home lending programs as part of $88 billion to support underserved communities, including loans for small businesses and low and moderate income areas. So everyone has a chance to move forward financially. PNC Bank. See how we can make a difference for you.
Who doesn't like more? And I mean like a lot more. Well, with Xfinity, you get more for your money.
Because with Xfinity Internet, you get a free Flex 4K streaming box and Peacock Premium included, with access to tons of free movies and shows.
More bang for your buck. Can your internet do that? Like your outfit, girl. Why, thank you. Okay, it's a party.
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months and add a Flex 4K streaming box for free. Click, call, or visit a store today.
At Rooms To Go, we've spent decades looking for the best styles, designs, and best furniture values in the U.S. and around the world. Now, with inventories in all industries tight and supplies hard to get, business isn't normal. What do? We go. We source new suppliers, and if the right product is available, Rooms To Go finds it, or we make it in our factories. So we get you your new living room, bedroom, or dining room as fast as we can. That's Rooms To Go.
It's starting to cool off, and our Cozy Home event at American Furniture Warehouse has inviting furniture for you to discover this fall. You're sure to find the perfect dining room for a warm gathering. Come on down to any American Furniture Warehouse location or see our magnificent spread online at afw.com.
Catch a new episode of Stargirl this Tuesday at 8, 7 Central.
We are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, and today we're talking about quinceañera. The quinceañera is a huge moment in a young girl's life, and it all starts, for so many, with the perfect dress.
When I start making a dress, the first thing that goes through my mind, it's that girl that she's expecting the most beautiful dress, and I know that it's her dream to be Cinderella or to be a princess that night. I'm always thinking that they have to be happy and they have to have their dream come true. The quinceañera celebration, it's very special. As Latinos, it's our culture. It's a moment that the family is waiting since the little girl came to this world. They always say, we have to start saving for the quinceañera dress. They don't save for the university, but they save for the dress. And it's an honor to be chosen for that very important dress. When I attend the parties and I see the quinceañera flying with that dress, swinging on that dance floor, it's that moment when I think it's worth it, and I'm so happy that I made her feel happy and the most beautiful princess that night. One day, I received a phone call from Dominican Republic. It was a little girl begging me to give her the quinceañera dress because she never had a party in her whole life. So when she called me, she made me cry. I identify with her because when I was a little kid, poor family as well, I never had a party before either. So when she told me that, I immediately told her that I will give her the dress. And that's how everything started. I started giving 3 dresses a year. Right now, we're giving at least one a month. Before my customers come and see the dress, I have to check every detail of the dress and make sure that the dress is exactly like how my customer is expecting for it, because I know how important it is for them. For me, it's an honor that people come and decide to spend their money in my boutique, because I know that they've been saving for a long time for this moment. And the most important thing is that I really love to work with them, and now I would say that this is the thing that I will do for the rest of my life.
A little dog went to extreme measures so he wouldn't be separated from his family going on vacation. When Jared and Christy Owens were checking in for their Southwest flight from Lubbock to Las Vegas, one of their bags ended up being 5 pounds overweight. The Owens said they could readjust, but when the couple opened their suitcase, they found their tiny Chihuahua hiding inside.
Really quick, we're like, oh, we've got to, rearrange some stuff. Opens it up, and literally, there's our dog out of my boot, like coming out of my boot with its head popping up.
Thankfully, the pup was just fine, and the Southwest luggage agent even offered to watch the dogs until they got back home, so the couple didn't have to cancel their big trip. Let's take a look at our weather right now. It is surprisingly below 60 degrees, Rachel.
I know, already down to 59 degrees, and that temperature is just going to continue to drop as we head into the next few hours. So I don't know about you, but I'm very excited that I do have a light jacket to take with me from here to my car, because it is going to be cool as we head into the next few hours, and that just gives you another preview of what we are going to see tomorrow morning. I would say not a bad idea to grab that sweater or light jacket as you head out the door. Now, right now our temperatures are coming in the 50s, a few of us still in the 60s. Look at Conroe, though, already dropping to 54 degrees. In Liberty, down to around 60 degrees. College Station at 64. Bay City coming in at 61. And then overnight, those temperatures going to drop pretty close to where we were last night. I would add on a degree or two, but either way, it's still going to be on the cooler side. Looking at 49 overnight in Conroe, 55 in Sugar Land, 53 over in Victoria, and 54 expected over into Angleton. So all in all, when it comes to our weather tomorrow, it is going to be gorgeous. If you want to do anything outdoors, if you want to go for that morning walk or run, you will be good to go. Starting off in the morning again in the 50s. By 9 a.m. should be up at around 61 degrees. By noon, 73. Topping out in the mid to upper 70s. So yes, it will get warm, but really no complaints when our temperatures stay in the 70s all day. So I would say for the morning, go ahead, grab the light jacket. You'll need it in the morning hours, and also make sure you grab the sunglasses, because we are expecting a lot more sun than what we saw out there today. So let's break down what you are expecting as we head throughout this week. As we head into tomorrow, you can see those clouds do break up, mostly clear, gorgeous outside. Then as we head into Tuesday, a little bit more cloud cover starts to make its way on in. On Wednesday, may see a little bit of isolated rain activity closer to the coast. And then as we head into Thursday, that's when we are expecting a weak front to make its way towards us, and that could pop up an isolated shower or two as it does get closer to southeast Texas. So that's why we do have just a slight 20% chance in as we head into Thursday. But overall this week, we will stay mostly dry, and temperatures will be warming up eventually up into the mid 80s as we head into midweek.
Rachel, thank you. Let's talk Texans and a surprise exit in the world of college football.
Absolutely, Tom. Earlier in this broadcast, we showed you the Texans losing 31-3 at the Colts once again. Critical penalties, turnovers, and big plays are what do the Texans in. Here's immediate and honest post-game reaction from Indianapolis.
We're an undisciplined team. I'll be very honest with you. From all of us, we all got some type of accountability in that. We're undisciplined. It's just the truth.
Knocking the door down. The only way you're going to get those wins, and you got to do that by being prepared and mentally doing the right thing. And we're not consistently doing that. And we're doing it at critical times, making those kinds of mistakes.
5 straight losses for the Texans, who play at the undefeated Arizona Cardinals. J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, a week from today. College football news. 21 months after leading LSU to the national title, Tigers head football coach Ed Orgeron has agreed to part ways with the athletic department. The Tigers have won just 9 of their 17 games since winning the 2019 national title, and Orgeron has been criticized for his handling of sexual misconduct allegations against his players. Tom, reports say he will receive his full $17 million buyout.
All right, Adam, thank you. Well, October is Blindness Awareness Month. More than 285 million people suffering from blindness or visual impairment around the world. But a young woman from Baytown has not let that stop her from leading a full life.
Well, I was diagnosed at the age of 2. It's called osteopetrosis, and it's a rare bone disorder where my bones don't produce enough marrow, so it causes them to be very hard and fragile. As a result, I've broken almost every bone.
It was a condition that I never heard of, I didn't know. I don't even think the doctors kind of knew. In the beginning, it was tough.
They told my parents I wouldn't live to be 10. I'm 28 now.
When she was born, I used to play, and I would do all these little funny things in their face, and I noticed that her eyes wouldn't move. We took her to the doctor, and that's when they told us that the disease also affects her eyesight.
The blindness is probably the hardest thing for me. The older I got, my bones became more fragile because things I used to could do is like, oh, I can't do this anymore. High school, you start to notice, well, that's when the challenges came. Everyone else is doing this, but now I have to sit in the house. So I spent many days just kind of off by myself. But I always had supportive parents to make me feel a part.
With B, we just noticed little small things that kids her age could do that she wasn't doing. But in the same breath, she might be blind and have this disease, but her brain is outstanding.
A motto I live by is that disability doesn't mean impossible. Even though it may not be the way everyone else do it, there's a way to get it done. When I don't know what else to do, I just pray. That's probably my answer to everything. Scarred But Not Broken, it's a nonprofit organization I started to help individuals with disabilities live the life they desire. For some people, their goal is just to be independent around their house. For some, it's to get a job or maybe go back to school. So I want them to be able to do whatever it is they want to do. I want to make sure they know what resources are available to them because I know some of the struggles I faced. I knew that I wanted to do something to help. And I got the name because I've had several surgeries, so I have several scars. My arms, my legs, my feet, everywhere. I realized that everyone has scars. In life, you get scars. But if you're still going, you're not broken. I am working on my first book. It's a memoir, just a story about my life. It's called Scarred Not Broken as well. And it's just detailing my life, the different challenges I faced, the ways I've overcome. I hope that it can inspire, someone with their struggles. My dream for the future is that all people are treated equal. The unemployment rate, people with disabilities, is extremely high. So I just want everyone to have a fair chance to achieve whatever they want.
And we'll be right back with a look at our top stories.
You gotta suck it up and do your best.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. Up top.
Hey, boom. Let's share some pudding.
And just like that, you ruined it.
Mom, tonight at 11 and 11:30 on CW 39.
Houston.
Dry eye symptoms keep driving you crazy? Inflammation in your eye might be to blame.
Let's kick Ken's ache and burn into gear.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Those drops will probably pass right by me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
What is that? Xiidra!
It can provide lasting relief. Xiidra is the only FDA-approved non-steroid treatment specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort, or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts.
Got any room in your eye?
Be proactive about managing your symptoms by talking to your doctor about twice daily Xiidra like I did.
I prefer you didn't.
Xiidra. Not today, dry eye.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it's built to put the world at your fingertips. Because the truck of the future isn't built for a few. It's built for Texas. Ford F-150. Drive one today. Now drive a new 2021 Ford F-150 with special 0% financing for 72 months plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Tempur-Pedic won the J.D. Powers Award Best Mattress at Retail
3 out of the last 4 years. You should sleep great tonight in the new Tempur-Pedic mattress. Improve your immune system, improve your energy, improve the way you look. And buy Tempur-Pedic mattress right now, $3,000 plus. If the Astros win it all, your mattress purchase is free, free, free. Buy your Tempur-Pedic mattress, $3,000 plus. Galley Furniture delivers free, free, free in 3 or 4 hours today. If the Astros win it all, your mattress purchase is free, free, free.
After a cooler feel over the weekend, temperatures start nudging back up over the course of the upcoming week. The latest forecast coming up Monday morning on No Wait Weather and Traffic.
No Wait Weather and Traffic, Monday, 5:30 to 9:30 on CW 39 Houston.
Harris County needs your help. Over the past 5 years, our county's jury appearance rate has hovered around a disappointing 20%. If you are accused of a crime or unjustly sued, wouldn't you rather have a jury that's more representative of Harris County's present diverse population?
I am Marilyn Burgess, Harris County's District Clerk. If you receive a jury summons from my office, please answer your call to serve. You could make the difference in a more just outcome.
Catch a new episode of Supergirl this Tuesday at 9/8 Central.
Taking a look at our top stories on this Sunday, at least 5 people were shot and injured in Acres Homes in Northwest Houston. This is breaking news we brought you a few moments ago. Houston police say they were called to a park on Carver Street around 7 o'clock tonight, but could not find any shooting victims. But then they later received reports from hospitals that 5 people, including a juvenile, had been admitted with gunshot wounds. A 6th person had a leg injury. Police also say shortly after that, a woman at a home about a mile away was shot. They're investigating to find out if that shooting is also related. A procession escorted the body of fallen Deputy Constable Kareem Atkins from the medical examiner's office to a funeral home in Tomball this afternoon. Atkins was shot and killed yesterday while working off duty and an extra job at a nightclub in North Houston. 2 other deputies were wounded. They're recovering in the Texas Medical Center. The gunman still on the loose tonight. And a group of 17 missionaries, including 5 children, were kidnapped in Haiti. Police say those missionaries were returning home from building an orphanage when they were abducted by a gang yesterday. The U.S.-based mission is working with the United States Embassy to secure the release of those missionaries. Well, we certainly appreciate you spending part of your Sunday night with us. Wake up tomorrow morning for Eyewitness News at 4:30. For Adam Winkler, Rachel Bryars, and all of us here at ABC 13, I'm Tom Abrams. Have a good night, a great week. Be safe and healthy and kind to one another.
We're looking out for you to start your day with the CW 39 newsletter. Fresh news delivered to your inbox. While you're at it, sign up for No Wait Weather and Traffic alerts sent to your email. It's easy. Just give us your email address.